Today I'm going to discuss the books and movies that are picked for the class. Let's start with the movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I heard about this movie. I thought I wouldn't like at all. I did like it in the end. I thought it was a bit depressing at the end because of what happened to Charlie during his childhood. I felt bad for him because he went through something so traumatic that his mind blocked it out for him so he wouldn't feel so hurt. I loved Sam and Petrie. They weren't my absolute favorite because they seemed a little pretentious to me. We all felt that way in high school, and now that I look back, it wasn't so bad. They were still great characters to the story. As friends of Charlie, they were amazing. They made him happy, and at some point, I'm sure he felt truly happy with them. My favorite quote from the movie is, "We accept the love we think we deserve." With such a moving quote for the movie. Throughout the whole movie, Charlie's family and friends have picked the love that is wrong for them. Sam chooses boyfriends that treat her wrong because of what happened to her freshman year. Charlie's sister has her boyfriend because she thinks she deserves a boy who hits her when he's extremely angry, but she thinks she can control his temper. Petrie chooses Brad, a person who denies his homosexuality and denies Petrie's laws toward him. Eventually, these people leave their toxic relationships behind and look for a way to move on. As for Charlie, he dealt with his depression and trauma the only way he could, by writing. The first book I read was The Outsiders. This is a classic story that was made into a movie. This is a story about a rivalry with the Sox and Greaser. This book had many compelling characters that go through a lot of harsh things. I didn't really like this book because it didn't make me feel anything for the story. It felt like I was just reading and not getting anything out. Uh, like with the other books we've read. The quote I choose is, "It's okay. We aren't in the same class. Just don't forget that some of us watch the sunset too." Ponyboy says this to Cherry of the Sox by agreeing on the basic fact that rich and poor people look at the same sun. Ponyboy and Cherry take a small step toward a potential reconciliation between the rival gangs. The third book I read was Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen. This book is about a girl named Sydney who must live the tragedy of her brother, Peyton, hitting a boy named Dave, David Ibarra during a drunk driving incident. She's always in the shadow of her brother to her parents. I found this book a little too slow for me. There was a thing of Sinead not forgiving her brother for leaving Davy paralyzed. There's also romance, but it's not a main focus of the story, which I think is great. In most yeah, I am novel, the romance plot is always the main focus of the story. My favorite quote from this book is, "There's a weird thing that happens when something goes from one time thing to a habit. Like the problem is no longer just a temporary house guest, but has actually moved in." This quote was said by Sidney when her brother Rayton kept doing those terrible things. Once he kept doing terrible things after terrible thing, it was like there was no surprise to what would come next.